H. H. Abbott. H. H. Abbott was the pen name of English poet Harold Henry Abbott 20 June 1891, 4 January 1976, who published 2 volumes of Georgian type verse in the 1920s, celebrating the lives of Essex rural folk and the Essex countryside which he knew intimately. His poems have fallen into obscurity in the years since. Abbott was by profession a grammar school teacher and headmaster. Life and career. The son of a butcher and brother of the poet and scholar Claude Collier Abbott, Harold Henry Abbott was educated at King Edward VI Grammar School, Chelmsford, then read English and French literature at the University of London. After teaching at the King's School, Gloucester, Falmouth Grammar, Royal Grammar Worcester, and Hymers College, Hall Second Master, 1925–1935, he became headmaster of Beaminster Grammar 1936–1938 and Hutton Grammar 1938–1951. For a time he was extramural lecturer at University College, Hull. He married Kathleen Joan Hart in 1929. They had 3 children. Abbott was one of the poets launched by Harold Monroe and his publishing house, the Poetry Bookshop. 10 poems in his first collection, Black and White Poetry Bookshop, 1922, had previously appeared in Monroe's periodical The Chapbook, and 1, the title poem, in a 1920 Harrop anthology. Black and White was well enough received for Chatto and Windus to accept his second collection, An Essex Harvest, and Other Poems 1925. Some of these poems had appeared in the New Statesman 1922–25 and in a second Harrop anthology. His most typical pieces record the work and lives of Essex farming people, with some now unusual countrymen's terms, or range descriptively over the acres of our Essex land. There is much close observation of English nature and local topographical detail. Town and market are Chelmsford. There are also a few personal poems, and a small number in a more experimental style. Mostly conversational in tone, his poems are traditional in form and meter, ranging from blank verse bucolics or rhyming couplets to shorter lyrics. His long discursive poem, An Essex Harvest, is a sort of English Georgics. Neither volume was reprinted. His poems are not known to have appeared in anthologies since the 1920s. His third volume, The Riddles of the Exeter Book 1968, was a collection of his verse translations from Old English of Anglo-Saxon riddles. 16 of these had appeared in his 1925 volume. Publications. Black and White, The Poetry Bookshop, London, 1922, verse. An Essex Harvest, and Other Poems, Chatto and Windus, London, 1925, verse and verse translations. The Riddles of the Exeter Book, The Golden Head Press, Cambridge, 1968, verse translations with introduction and notes, foreword by Douglas Cleverdon. The work of D. H. Lawrence, Humberside Periodical, Vol. 1, No. 1, October 1922, essay.